Good day and welcome back to the Herbert Dennard Show. We have with us Donzella James. She's running for Congress. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
13th District. Tell us something about Donzella James.
Well,
I know you was a state senator for a while.
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm a native of Atlanta,
Okay.
A genuine Georgia peach, I'll say, and a Grady baby.
Okay.
And spent my entire life in the area. Went to Morris Brown College. I'm a third generation Atlantan on my mother's side, and a fourth generation Georgian on my dad's side. So I'm completely here, and we have family all over the state of Georgia. But in 1993, I was elected to the Georgia Senate, and proudly served until 2003. Passed numerous legislation. I worked with people from all over Georgia. I said I got elected from the 35th Senate District, which is in Atlanta, but I was able to serve people from all over Georgia because I built coalitions on the issues, all with different legislators on what their beliefs were and mine. And you know, we may not have agreed on everything, but we learned how to work together and how to get the job done.
You passed some legislation about drunk drivers.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Let me give you a little background. First of all, my first year in the Senate, just been there a little while, a few weeks, and my son got killed by going to the grocery store for my husband and a few miles from my house, and an 18-wheeler with a 5-time DUI offender crashed into my child. And the man admitted on camera with the police that he had been drinking all day and smoking marijuana all day. But, you know, I saw that the laws were not fair. It took us 2 years to go to court. I couldn't bring Carrie back, but I said, God, how could someone have a commercial driver's license and already have 5 previous DUIs? And in one, he had injured someone who is still in a wheelchair right now. And then my son just innocently driving up the street, a great young man, senior in high school, and lost his life. So yes, I was determined to change the laws. I created the Teenage Responsibility Act, and also the graduated licenses, so that these young people could get defensive driving and they could be aware and can really drive by the time they got behind the wheel of a car. I knew my son could, but I said, some people can, I gotta save other lives. Also, the habitual drunk driving law. I had to stay on that. And so now you get your 4th DUI and it's a felony. So it deters people. I tried to get it on your 2nd, then I tried to get the 3rd. But you know, you have to work with legislators who sometimes don't think. They drink, well, everything's centered around parties and receptions, and there's an open bar here and here and here, and they come to Atlanta and they don't think that it's so bad. So I had to convince people who drink all the time that you don't, I wasn't saying don't drink. I said don't drink, become impaired, and get behind the wheel of a car.
So you passed that legislation?
Yes.
And
in honor of Carrie.
Right, and that is something wonderful.
Thank you.
Because that takes a lot of drunk drivers off the street, and it saves other lives.
Yes.
Especially habitual drunk drivers.
Correct.
You're running against a congressman that's already there, David Scott.
Yes.
And his voting record hasn't been the best.
No,
Matter
not
of fact, to put it mildly, we look at a lot of different people's voting records in Congress. And as far as black congressmen are concerned, his is one of the worst.
It is.
He voted according to the Congressional Black Caucus. They have a survey that they run and they ask people different questions. And his is one of the worst.
Yes.
But
the whole time he's been there, it's been very poor. In fact, his first 4 years, he voted straight down the line with your former governor that they call Zell, his name is Zell Miller, but they call him Zigzag Zell. Mm-hmm. And they started calling my opponent, my congressperson, flip-flops, Scott. And they said, oh, they're friends. I was really disturbed by that because I was upset that I would have a congressperson who could get a negative reputation like that.
Well, his record is, like I say, I didn't put it together, but I looked at the records. He has one of the very worst voting records for black congressmen in Georgia.
Yes.
And you look all across America, his is one of the worst.
Well, he started out supporting the war. Mm-hmm. He said, even on TV, and I don't know, he may have said it on your show, that if you don't vote for the war, you're unpatriotic. And he swore that there were weapons of mass destruction. And after it was proven that there were not, he never did apologize. He never did retract it. He continued. In fact, just this year, on May 15th, a few weeks ago, he voted to put more funding in Iraq war by $160 billion.
So what can you do? I know he has a lot of money, and he's raised a lot of money, and he's been there. What do you do? What can people do to help you?
They can come and help in the campaign. They can send contributions. They can go on my website, Donzella James, 4Congress.com. And if they want to contribute, we'd love to have them. They can just chat with us and tell us different things. And mostly anyone who wants to come up to our area can work with me night and day because we're knocking on doors, we're making phone calls. I said I'm kissing every baby in the district that I can. But that's the good part. That's the fun part of it.
The good part is that I know you, and I know you've been a great state senator.
Thank you.
And you would be an asset to be a congressman, but I know you have an uphill fight.
Yes.
David would have an opportunity to be on here, but I just want to let you know that we appreciate you for the things that you have done.
Thank you.
What I want you to do is I want you to look directly at that camera there. Mm-hmm. And tell them for the next minute or so anything you want to tell them.
It's time for a change. So change to Donzella James for Congress in the 13th District, and I won't let you down. I have been here for you. I have worked for you on a state level, and I won't go in just as one vote. I will go into the U.S. Congress knowing my way around because I've testified at many hearings. I've studied the issues. I'm a delegate for Obama even. And I had to run for that seat. It was not anything that anyone gave me except the people who came and voted. And they voted because I had been working with him. I felt that our issues mirror each other because my views and his views are so similar. But if you look at my opponent, David Scott's record and how he voted, and look at Obama's, and you'll see a difference. And if you look me up, Donzella James for U.S.Congress.com. That's Donzella, Donzella James, 4 Congress.com. And you can see what my view on the issues, but not only that, what I've been doing in that area. I've never stopped. I've always worked for us. So please consider me. Please remember, Donzella James, you have a choice, and the power is in your hands. So vote Donzella.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
And we'll be right back.